Okay. Evan, what table we got?
0.
0, teacher's choice on the first one. Let's go with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a nice, easy question to start off the day with. Up here it says given x is greater than 5. Give me some numbers that work for that.
6.
Good. Greater than 5. Yep. There we go. I assumed that was the next answer, and I already know the next answer, right?
8.
Okay, there we go. So those are numbers that are bigger than 5. We'll just keep it at your table for this one. Would it be possible for you to give me every possible answer? Table 5. You guys don't look very sure on this answer, though. Are you unsure how to answer? Should I go to a different table? Okay, I thought this one was pretty straightforward, but maybe you guys are misunderstanding what I mean.
3.
3. That's your table. Can you name every answer to this issue? No. No, because there's an infinite number of numbers that are bigger than 5. You can't name every single number. Even if I just told you to name every number between 5 and 6, you wouldn't be able to name all of them because you could always just keep giving me smaller and different fractions. There's an infinite number of numbers. So, no, you can't name all of them. I suppose we should actually write these down though, huh? If I just keep saying things out loud, you guys are probably just gonna keep doing that. So, 6, 7, and 8 were listed. And then the answer over here was no. Table 3, if you want to answer this, you can. Is 5, does 5 make that true? So when it says, is 5 a solution, that means, does 5 make that true? It does not. Because if I put 5 in place of x, it would say 5 is greater than 5, and it's not. It's the same as 5. So no. So for the whole first portion of this packet, we've been graphing straight lines. Like whenever we did a graph, we graph straight lines. Well, now we're going to run into things like this, where there's going to be a lot of possible answers, and we have to figure out a way to show those answers. So, honestly, x greater than 5, you generally would just put that on a number line, like one dimension number line, and you would draw it that way. And I know you've done that in the past. But currently we have a 2-dimensional number line up here. So we can still do this with a 2-dimensional number line. I think we might need a different system. This thing constantly gets doubles. Table 8. Do you guys remember how to draw x equals 5 on a graph? So x equals and y equals were the two weird ones that were either vertical or horizontal. Do you guys remember which one is which? Yeah?
X is vertical and y is horizontal.
Perfect. X equals 5 would be a vertical line at 5. Now, don't draw it down yet. Oh, okay, everybody already did. So, x equals 5 would look like that. You're going to need to erase it in a second. That's why I was trying to say don't draw it. For me, it's easy. For you, no. Now, currently, we already said that 6 was a correct answer, 7 was a correct answer, 8 was a correct answer. So, but if I draw a dot at 6, 7, and 8, it doesn't say anything about height, x equals 6, x equals 7, x equals 8, it doesn't say anything about height, and so technically that means every height. And I'm not even gonna try and make them nice. Okay, all those dots, they're all to the right of it, because that's bigger than 5. Now up here, we decided that 5 wasn't an answer, because it's not bigger than 5. And a solid line would mean that that's equal to 5. So when you guys are gonna do less than or greater than, we're gonna use a dashed line, a dotted line. And that represents that it's not there. It's just next to it. A solid line means it can be equal to it. So I think you guys have done this in the past on a number line. You probably did an open circle and a filled in circle. Have you ever done the two-dimensional ones like this? Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So I'm going to draw that same line, but I'm going to draw it dotted. And then instead of me drawing a million dots to the right of it, we're just going to shade it. And for most of you with a pencil, you just shade sort of neatly. I'm not looking for fantastic artwork here. For me, it's kind of impossible with the marker. But essentially, this is what the answer to what we wrote down would look like. Those are all the numbers bigger than 5. I mean, I'm guessing this one makes sense and is okay, correct? Okay. So I think it's at the bottom. I don't think it's the next page. Yes. We're going to have the same thing but with 2 letters. So y is less than or equal to 2x minus 6. First thing we're going to do is graph the one that we know how to graph, y equals 2x minus 6. And then we'll figure out from there. Thought for sure you were going to say 0. How do we graph y equals 2x minus 6? I was hoping you guys could give everybody a refresher. Do you remember how to graph the straight lines? I can give you guys some hints and get you started if that helps. Do you want that? Okay, so first thing we need to do graphing straight lines is this minus 6. Means we need to go down 6 and draw a point. That's the y-intercept. It's been about 3 weeks since we graphed, so I kind of get the forgetfulness. Do you remember what to do with the 2? Table 1. The 2 is going to be the slope.
2 over up 1.
Good. So the number on the x is the slope, and you generally write it as a fraction. So that would be up 2 to the right 1 from this first point. Okay, there we go. And to be honest, for this problem, I'm going to do it a bunch of times because for me, it's going to be really hard to draw otherwise. So I went up 2 over 1 a bunch of times. Now we need to figure out if the line we draw should be a solid line or a dashed line. This one says less than or equal to. That line underneath means or equal to. I'm sure you know that by now. Basically, if you have a line underneath, you draw a line. If there's no line underneath, it's dotted. So this one is going to be a solid line. So I'm going to draw a solid line. And now these inequality problems are going to have shading. We need to figure out where we should shade. There's 2 ways to do this. This is definitely one of the ways. In my opinion, it is not the quicker way. It's not the easier way. But I'll show this way too first, and then I'll tell you the way that I think is the easiest way. Does anybody already know the easy way? Okay. Choose an ordered pair, which just means pick any point that's not on the line. The easiest point you should always pick is 0, 0. I'm gonna pick 0, 0. And I'm gonna put 0, 0 into that inequality. So I'll rewrite it down here. I don't know if you need to or not, but I will. So 0 less than or equal to 2 times 0 minus 6 is 0 less than or equal to negative 6. So is 0 smaller than negative 6? No. It feels like it should be. It's not. Like if you think of a number line, right? 0 is in the middle, negative 6 is over here. 0 is bigger than negative 6. So this would be false. And we shade the true portion. So if this half, actually I'll just write false. If this half is false, we shade the true half. Which would be the other half. So if any random point that I pick on that other half would make that sentence true. What else is there? What? Roll.
5.
I picked on 5 already too, didn't I? 4. I'm hoping you guys figured out the easy way to shade. What's the easy way to figure out which half to shade? Gigi, it looked like you were nodding yes. I don't know. No, okay. Simon, apparently you have to speak up because they're not going to.
Not sure.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the easy way to answer it, I guess, huh? Did anybody figure out the quick way for shading? Max? Oh, no? Okay, I didn't even ask the question yet. I was just gonna ask you which symbol is that? What does that say?
That 2x minus.
No, just the symbol I circled. I didn't circle it very good apparently. This symbol.
Huh?
I think it's listed right above it, isn't it? On problem number 1? Doesn't it say next to those? Maybe not.
Less than or equal to?
Correct. Wait, should I go over what the symbols are? I just assumed you knew, I just assumed you've seen it before. Have you seen it before and know what it does, but just didn't know the name of it? Okay, I can live with that. Less than means smaller. If I have to shade above or below, what's going to be smaller? Below. Less than means you shade below. Greater than means you shade above. So if I go to this line, and my job is to shade below, I'm just going to shade down. This step 3 to me is sort of unnecessary for a lot of the problems. Because if this says less than, I automatically know that that means the shading is going to be below the line. I don't need to test which half works. You guys don't seem very excited today. This is big stuff. Isn't this new? This is just not exciting new? With the cold weather yesterday, just like immediately zap any kind of We live in Minnesota, it gets cold all the time. Like, this is normal. You just throw on an extra sweatshirt or something. Maybe put on long underwear. You guys don't, how many of you even walk to school? You walk? All right, you should throw on long underwear or something, yeah. It gets cold when you walk. I always had to walk to school too. Like, where I was from, the school was in the middle of the neighborhood. And so the only people that got bused were the people that were way out there. And so walking to school was kind of horrible, you know, you had face masks, hats, gloves, everything. And your locker couldn't even fit all of it. You guys get dropped off, you get the bus. You have it easy. Cold doesn't even matter to you. You guys gotta wake up. This is quite boring. I see. It'll take like 2 weeks before you guys don't feel awkward with each other, new class, new people. Here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to try this problem on your own. And then in about 2 minutes, we'll have one table come up and draw it. And it's gonna be a table that hasn't gone yet, so if your table has gone, you could be at ease. What do we have? With table 2, we have table 6, 7, 9 kinda went. Max, you went. You guys can think Max. So it's either gonna be 2, 6, or 7. Got a lot of stuff in there. Oh, you found your packet. Or is that what you printed? Yeah. Hi, good morning. Hey. You locked out escape. Thanks. Did you guys check in at the same time? Okay, Evan, we're gonna roll until we get a 2, 6, or 7.
6.
All right then. Table 6. You two, how are you feeling about this problem? Do you feel like you can graph it up there?
Yeah.
You gotta at least go up with them then. You gotta be emotional support. Perfect, let's do it. And if you need some help, feel free to ask. Oh, perfect, so you went up 4 and then you're doing a slope of -1? Okay? And the nice thing, oh, so close. Wait, I'm gonna hit undo in a second. Wait, oh, no, let me do undo. Okay, the nice thing about the fact that you drew a whole bunch of dots, is this line gonna be dotted or solid? Dotted, yes. That's the only reason I undid the line. Perfect. Okay, so that looks good enough to me, like a dotted line, like I'm okay with that. Oh, you wanted to make it even better, all right. You can make it better if you want. So we're gonna shade below or above? Below, because it says less than. If you want to test the point 0, 0, the point 0, 0 would make that equation true, and then that would be the shaded part where they shaded. Perfect. Now, the shading for right now does not need to be good. I am totally okay with that type of shading for right now. It will matter in a day or two because we're going to have to shade more than one line at a time. And so it has to look neater, otherwise you can't tell what's up there at all. But for right now, it doesn't matter. This is perfect. Does anybody want me to explain parts of what's up there? Like Does anybody want a reminder on how to graph the line? Does anybody want a reminder on how to shade above or below? How are we feeling 0 to 5 on how well you feel like you know this topic? 0 to 5. Well, that's impressive since you just walked in. Okay, pretty good. So I feel like we could probably stop here. I'm not going to give an actual assignment so much, but I do want you to finish. Oh, we didn't do this problem together. And I think the next page is not. Is there any word problems on these? Perfect. We'll do the word problem with tomorrow's because it fits that one better. Okay. This will be an assignment. I just don't want to assign it yet because some people still haven't turned in the first two. So I will tell you that page 34 and 35 will be an assignment tomorrow. And so if you want to work on it and get it done now, you can. I didn't want to put it in the computer because I know some people probably already feel like they're behind. So if you are a person that has not turned in both of the first assignments, I would finish those during this 20 minutes and get those turned into me before you start anything on this graphing. Because this graphing you'll be able to remember very quickly, it's not that bad at all. Okay.